Welcome to session 5 of our beginner cello program. Today is a very exciting day because today is all about the bow. So we are going to talk about the different parts of the bow, and then I'm going to show you how to do a cello bow hold first on a pencil. Then we'll transfer it over to the actual bow itself, and then at the end of this video, we'll see if we can play some open strings with the bow. So we won't be using the left hand today, just the right hand. What you should do now is go to your cello case, and in the front pocket there should be the bow. It's in a long pocket on the front. So your bow will look something like this. So grab your bow, pull it out, and then let's get started. So this is the cello bow. We've got different parts. Let's first talk about some different parts of the bow. This is the frog. This little, I call it a box, this square part right here, this is the frog. So eventually, this is where your hand is gonna go. This is the tip. So the tip of the bow can break pretty easily, so just be careful with it. Try not to swing your bow around or bang it or jam it on anything. As you can see, my bow is a little broken at the tip, so just be careful with the tip of your bow. The next part we should point out, of course, is the hair. So this is actually made from real horse hair. What they do is they take the hair from a horse, and don't worry, the horse isn't hurt. They just give it a haircut. They take the hair and then they bleach it and process it so it can go on our bows. Let's see. This is the turning screw. So for this is how we're going to tighten and loosen the bow hair. Okay, so your bow should look something like this. Do you see how the stick, this wooden part, is close to the hair? So that means that this is loose, which is good. It should be loose right now if it's just coming out of your case. So the first thing we're gonna do, being careful not to touch the hair, like I just did, we're going to take the screw and turn it to the right a few times. Just remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, if you've ever heard that before. So I'm going to turn my screw to the right until it gets to about the distance between, or the distance of a pencil. So that's not quite enough, so I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna turn it maybe a couple more times. All right, so here's my bow, let's see. That looks good. All right, so this is about as tight as you want the hair. So you want to still see a little bit of a bend in the stick. Next, what you're going to want to do is put your bow down, just either carefully on a table or a music stand if you have that nearby. So grab your rosin. You're going to have your rosin. It might be in a front pocket, and it might not look like this either. Most of the time, it's going to be in a little rectangle, little package made out of cardboard, and you can pull it out, and it's going to be sticky tree sap, basically. So take out your rosin. Mine looks like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the rosin in my left hand, and then in my right hand I'm going to hold the bow. So right now it doesn't matter how you hold it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to rosin the bow, as we call it. So you can do that with me. Take the rosin, put it up on your bow hair, and then pull it all the way to the tip. And then go back. You can do this maybe 6 times, just like that. And so what that does is that puts all the sticky rosin on your bow so it has something to grip the string with. Next, put your bow down and grab a pencil or a pen. We're going to figure out how to hold the bow just with this little bit first, because I'm sure you noticed when you were holding the bow and putting the rosin on it that it's kind of heavy, right? It's a little unbalanced feeling. The frog is a little heavier than the tip, and so it's not easy to start right away, day one, holding the bow in a correct bow hold. So we start with a pencil or a stick. Next, take your pencil and hold one end with your left hand just like this. Then you're going to take your right hand and put your pencil right at that middle joint that kind of goes across all of your fingers. Notice that my pinky is kind of hanging off, right? It's kind of almost fallen off there, but the pencil is also solidly in between my middle finger joints, for example. This is how you want your pencil to be. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thumb, bend it as so, and then put the tip of my thumb behind my second finger. So the exact placement of where your thumb is going to go will depend on your anatomy, but just for now, for our purposes, try it this way. Next, turn your hand over. So if we did everything correctly, it should look something like this. So notice how my fingers hang pretty much straight down. They're nice and loose. I'm not curling them underneath like this, but they're just hanging there, right? So you hold the bow mostly between your thumb, your pointer finger, and your pinky, just like that. So these fingers kind of just hang out. So this is the cello bow hold. Some things that I always see students do is they always want to hold a bow like this. This is wrong, guys. So if you are doing this right now, please shake your hand out and then start over. Okay, so let's do it together. So here's my pencil, taking my right hand, putting it at this middle joint, my thumb here, turn it over, and then there it is. All right, what does yours look like? I think we're ready to try the actual bow. So here is the bow. What you're gonna do is you're gonna place your thumb right in this spot right here. So it's gonna go like this, of course on the other side, just like that. But just know that the tip of your thumb, so about right there, is gonna go in this little spot right by the frog. So take your bow, hold the stick without touching the hair with your left hand, just so it's a little more balanced and a little lighter. Then take your right hand and try the same thing. So remember to lay across that middle joint, the middle knuckle, and then put your thumb on the stick and keep your thumb bent always, just like that. And you should have something like this. And remember, you can always hold this right now just to help us out. So while I'm holding the bow, this should feel weightless. I'm not squeezing like, oh. I'm just barely touching this. And remember, I'm holding it with these 3 points. So my pointer finger, pinky, and my thumb are the ones that are bearing all of the weight. Nothing else. I'm not squeezing. So how does this feel for you? Hopefully it feels really comfortable and really good. So practice this as many times as you need. This is really important to get correct. So definitely don't move on if it's not exactly right. So now we're going to play some open strings with the bow. So I have my cello here. My left hand is just going to hang out. It's just going to relax. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the bow. Here we go. So I'm going to get my hand ready. Okay, so just like you just practiced before, I'm going to put my fingers on that middle joint line, bend my thumb in that same spot, and then here's my bow hold. And I like to use my left hand to help place the bow for the first time. So where do we put the bow? We put the bow between the fingerboard and the bridge. So just in this area. Try not to let the bow come above the fingerboard. So I'm going to place the bow on the D string, and I'm going to start at the frog. So remember, the frog is where your hand goes. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my left hand to help guide me. So I'm going to pull the bow towards the right, making sure that my hand stays in this comfortable, loose bow hold. Here we go. And now I'm going to pull it the other way. Awesome. So why don't you try that too? And the whole point of holding the bow with your left hand is just so we don't drop it right at the beginning. So try that a few times. Maybe you can try other strings too.